Right, you are welcome back to the next segment of our program, The Call of Faith on Armed Forces Radio Service 107.7 FM Abuja. On the second segment of our program today, we shall be talking about some irresponsible behaviors on the part of irresponsible couples, whether they are male or female. And I'm going to give some examples to give us highlight of some of these things. Recently, there was an incident that went viral about a man who impregnated his wife. About 3 months into the marriage, the wife became pregnant, and about 2 weeks after the pregnancy of the wife, he divorced the wife and sent her back to her parents' house so that the woman would be in her parents' house and do everything. He has no business with him again. And 2 months after divorcing that woman, this man, a serial monogamist, got married to another woman and engaging her. As soon as that one gets pregnant again, 2 weeks after, he divorced him again and then over to the next person. Now this kind of behavior, these are people who are part and parcel of our national security challenge. Because here is a man that would not take responsibility over anybody, but would choose to impregnate this and impregnate that and say, how many wives do you have? I have one wife. And will be serially marrying and divorcing and marrying and divorcing women like somebody changing his cloth. This is unacceptable. And these are men that will not take responsibility over any of their wives. This is sad and is totally unacceptable. Another example is a man who gives birth to the children, and at 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and he tells them, look guys, you have to be fending for yourself. You're gonna look for everything I go job. Me too, now nobody raised me up. When I struggle, we're gonna go struggle. And this man is alive and he claims to be a father. This one is a bandit in the name of being a father. He's just there living his life, enjoying himself, and will leave the children to their fate, to themselves. No money for food, no money for clothing, no sending them to school, and he produces not children, but he produces the cannon fodder for banditry, for kidnappers, for Boko Haram, for ISWAP, and all these devilish people. And that is what he does. His own is just to give birth to children without taking responsibility over the children. Amongst other, okay, final example on the issue of the male who are highly irresponsible when it comes to taking care of their family is a man who will not live like my people will say in this part of the world. They say chop money, He won't leave the chop money, He won't leave anything for the family's upkeep, and yet, he leaves the family in the morning without anything, without any food, without any money for them to take care of themselves, and yet the woman in the house will struggle to get things done and stuff like this, and this man comes back later in the day and sees the wife serving food for her children, and she had labored and struggled to do so many things to get food on the table for the children, and this man comes back and beckons on the wife, where my food day? Oh my God. He said, where my food day? Your food call. Your food need. And this man will come and insist that he must eat from the food the wife cooks. I mean, these are irresponsible men. Sad. Now on the flip side, we have women whom they are, this one shocked me to my bone. Now, how can you expect? I expect every woman to be mothers. Look, a man struggling to keep his family, to send children to school, and because of the nature of his job, he wasn't around, and he sent money, struggled to go through pains, hunger, because he wants the children to have the best of education. He sent money to the wife to go and pay the school fees of the children. First time, she didn't pay. Second time, she didn't pay. But it's because the school knew that this man, while he was close to the family before he was, because the nature of this job, he has to go outside station to go and work. So they had to call him that, Mr. XYZ, you have not been paying the children's school fee. But we know that you have been our regular people, you have been paying. So we're wondering what happened. So they called him directly and they said, we might, in this third time, if you don't pay first time and second time, we might not allow your children to resume for third time. The man said, what? I've been paying. First time I paid, second time I paid, I sent the money to their wife, to their mother, to my wife. And he had to put a call through to the wife, and the man said, it's true. I want you, I should be, I get my club, I get my friend. They want so close to me. And it's stuff nonsense. And the woman ate the money that's supposed to be money to pay for the children's school fees. And this is the fact that the man had given her own upkeep money, and this children's school fees, she joined it to her upkeep money because she wanted to meet standards of XYZ friend and ABC club and all this nonsense. So I'm using the word nonsense here. But actually it is nonsense, when you have women behaving this way. And truth be told, that when you have this kind of people, then these are people that are part and parcel of our security challenges. Furthermore, you have let me give one more example of women's irresponsible behavior, since we have mentioned some of the men's irresponsible behavior. A woman who will make the home to be so toxic without allowing the man to have a breathing space. The man has left one battlefield, and the woman is making the home to be another battlefield, to the extent that whenever she's at home, she's not respecting the husband, she's not giving regard to the husband, and the husband says that, she says down, and she